Check, check.
Check, check.
All right.
We have too much fun on an immigration live.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
we are live now. We're going to wait for a minute to let things gear up. Let Radlyn share the broadcast over all of the different platforms. Let some folks stream in here on TikTok. And anybody who might be joining on Facebook, we'll give them a minute. Some people are previewing our live. Here we go. Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. Odette is here. Who's Odette? Odette is here. She is going to provide us some insights. So y'all need to stay for a bit and A, get your questions answered, and B, find out about this super important update that we have.
Okay. Odette,
right,
I invited you. You should be in there now.
Yep,
I'm
in.
I see you. I see you. All right, we're past 1 minute. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and officially hit it. All right.
Okay, let's officially hit it.
Okay,
I'm sharing. I am sharing right now.
Yeah, you
still.
keep sharing, and I'm just going to get us started. We are live. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our Wednesday night broadcast. My name is John Gardner. This is my wife and law partner, Radlyn Mendoza.
Good evening.
And we are the immigration law firm Gardner and Mendoza. We are celebrating our 26th year immigration law firm here in Virginia Beach, Virginia, but we do have clients all over the country, all over the world. For those of you who are not super familiar with the way the law works, immigration law is federal law, so we can practice anywhere in the country, even though we're only barred here in Virginia. And we come to you every Wednesday from 8 o'clock to 8:45 to give you immigration updates, other legal updates, if we think they're important and somehow pertain to immigration law practice. And we also like to answer your questions. So if you have immigration questions or any legal question for that matter, I suppose, go ahead and get it posted. I want to say hi to everybody on TikTok as well as everybody here on Facebook. Go ahead and get your questions posted up there, and we'll try to get to them as soon as we can. I do want to warn you, what we do here is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not legal advice, so the answers that we're giving you should not be construed as legal advice, but maybe they'll give you some ideas and direction. And hopefully the number one idea they'll give you is to call us or another reputable immigration attorney to help you with your case. Now, finally, that's a lot of talking.
That's a big intro.
That's a big intro. But the last thing I want to do as part of this big intro is introduce, I don't want to say our big guest, but our super awesome, amazing guest, Odette Batchelor, who's with us most Wednesday nights.
Hello.
And she brings us...
say hi to Odette, everybody.
She brings a very special perspective, retired U.S. immigration officer. Up until pretty recently, she was running a whole show in our neck of the woods here. So you have an opportunity, if you're joining us tonight, to pick the brain of the person who would have been in charge of, denying or approving your case not that long ago. So I encourage you to take advantage of that. Thank you so much, as always, for being here. It's always great to have you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Odette.
Okay, so we have some people coming in. We are going to get to the questions as they load up. Announcement, update. What's the biggie?
The big announcement.
Shall we talk about the big announcement?
Yeah, and you have it right there.
Yeah,
in front of you. So the big announcement from, I believe it was like mid last week, is that USCIS,
yes, ma'am.
USCIS is basically restoring their ability to deny a case without issuing a request for evidence or without sending you. And a request for evidence is, say you file your I-130 petition or your 485 I-130 petition 485, and you've left out the divorce decree, right, from a previous marriage. So previously USCIS would, go through and the whole package is all there, right? You've got everything. You've got your marriage certificate, you've got your passport photos, you've got your proof of U.S. citizenship, you've got your affidavit of support, your 1040 W-2, most recent pay stub, your medical. You have every single thing for that package. But for whatever reason, you have forgotten to include your divorce decree, or maybe you were so in a rush to file your case that you're like, I'll get to that later. I will send that in later. I'll bring it to the interview, whatever the rationale was for leaving that divorce decree out. And what typically happened, and Odette knows because she sent these out before, is that USCIS would send us or you a request for evidence, and they say, hey, look, you're missing the divorce decree here. Please send us the divorce decree so we can continue processing your case. You would send in your divorce decree, your attorney would send in the divorce decree, and your case would go along. Now, I'm going to ask a question of Odette here, since Odette has gone through how many administrations did we say?
5.
Yeah, that's a lot.
5 administrations. So, Odette, you've seen a lot, right? Like,
Yes.
you've seen a lot. You've taken a look at this release and this policy and the updating of the manual, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on this? Is this, when you took a look at this? No, first question is this something that's like, whoa, blew your mind? Like, I can't believe this. Or is this an ebb and flow of another different administration that, hey, we're going to have to just do this? And what were your initial thoughts on this?
My initial thoughts when I first started reading it was, hey, they're just going back to the old way they used to do things. That, I mean, basically, it's already written in there back in, I don't know, the 90s or whatever. That's the way it used to be. Everything had to be submitted with the documents, with your form, your I-130, your fiance package, your 485. And if it wasn't there, they really didn't have to send an RFE. They could just deny it for not providing the proper documentation as initial evidence. So what they ask for in the instructions is considered initial.
Okay, so all right, so that is unfortunate, right, for the applicants who, the instructions are long, right? A lot of people who come here to our lives, and you come to our live, and we really appreciate you coming here to our live, especially now that we have Odette, who's just, she's here every week with us, and provides an amazing opportunity for you all to hear what she has to say about this. But the real takeaway here is, what is it? What's the real takeaway, Odette, as far as like missing documents and things like that?
You really need to have everything in there when you submit your form, because now with the new memo, they don't have to send the RFE or annoyed, and it's up to the officer discretion on how long they want to give you, up to the 12 weeks, or it could be much less. So you want to make sure you have it in so your case isn't denied and you have to refile and pay all that money again.
Yeah,
it's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. Yes, folks, this is really, and again, we've been doing this for 28 years. Odette has been working with Legacy INS and with USCIS for 42 years, 5 administrations. And so we know that it hurts when your package, it just doesn't come back to you, right? They don't just send it back to you. They will feed it in, right? They'll feed your case in. And to think that you've paid, let's just talk about an I-130, I-45, $3,005 filing fee. And you're just like, oh, awesome. I've saved money because I did it myself, right? I didn't hire an attorney. I did it myself. I'm really proud of myself. I personally, I like to try things on my own as well. So I don't I understand that urge to do that. But then you get your case rejected. Not rejected. Feed in, something's missing, and then you get a denial instead of a request for evidence. I mean, that's terrifying. That is terrifying because we have a lot of people who come to us with cases that are self-filed. So this is super, super important. And really, I think the key takeaway that Odette mentions here is that you have to have everything in place. You have to have all of your ducks in a row, right?
Mhm.
And if I were trying out nursing one night and I wanted to give my husband an IV, I could probably do it. He's terrified. I could probably watch some YouTube videos, right? I could probably read some things. I could get all the equipment from Amazon, the little rubber thing that you tie around and the syringe. I could probably get all those things, and I could probably try it and do it. And I would probably fail the first time in hitting the vein, and probably the second time, and probably the third time. Who's ever been to the hospital with a loved one and the nurse can't get the vein, right? And they have to
Yep.
try multiple times. It's kind of a weird analogy, but this is what's going to happen to your case, except that instead of your vein bursting, your case is going to get denied, and you're going to have to pay those fees all over again. And whatever status that you were in, a lot of times people are filing cases. It's not like they might be getting ready to go out of status, right? Your status might be expiring. So that is the huge update. We want to answer some questions surrounding that.
Let's talk about that real quick, though. So, let's say you have extra money lying around. You don't really mind that. You could just keep filing these things over and over again. I mean, it doesn't really matter, right? You just lose the money.
Well, you lose the money, you potentially lose your status, which is, very important, the status that you're in. And, based on the May 24th, 2026 adjustment of status policy, that memo that came out, again, they're walking that back a little bit. Maybe they're asking those questions about status and why you've fallen out status and why you can't do consular processing. We'll see. That's all to be determined, but it can be extremely treacherous to be out of status in the United States right now.
Yes.
You can just spend 5 minutes on social media and see immigration things happening, and they're not pretty. And they are arresting people who are flying domestically, who have pending asylum cases, and they're actually allowed to be here. But because TSA is, not exactly trained on federal immigration law, they're calling. Anyway, it's very treacherous. We don't want to get into that. We're in Hampton Roads, as John mentioned. This is where our office is, our brick and mortar office, so to speak. And ICE is here. ICE is in Norfolk, is in Virginia Beach, is in Hampton, Chesapeake, and they are arresting people, leaving their work trucks on the side of the road. It's happening, and it's happening. And it's kind of like if you're out of status because you filed something, but you filed it before your status expired, and they look it up and like denied, right? Like, no, I'm married to a U.S. citizen. Well, it looks like your case was denied, right? It's just the consequence is really heavy. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, folks. So, obviously the question was, well, you can just keep filing over and over again. Not really. A lot of these cases are time sensitive. And as Radlyn said, you can fall out of status, and then you just start to have one bad thing after another adding up. So this is why, there's a saying when you take the bar exam, law students have a saying: do it once, do it right, and never do it again. This is the same situation. You really want to get this right the first time, especially now, because even before, as Odette was saying, you might get some time to correct it or just say you need this document or that document. But there are no second chances. Going forward, this is going to become harder and harder. And what's going to happen is there aren't going to be any second chances. So you do really have to get it right the first time. And that's why you want to work with somebody who has done it thousands of times, who's got multiple checklists that are followed every single day by people who file these things every single day and know what they're doing. It could be us. I hope it's us. We would certainly love to help you. But if it's not us, if you want to, if you're in San Diego and you just feel better working with somebody a couple blocks down, I get that. That's fair enough. But make sure you're working with somebody who knows what they're doing, a professional, because you really don't want to mess this up. Right now, it's important to get it right the first time. And you know who's getting it right the first time? We are. We're getting approvals. We're taking green card photos in our office every day. We just had a new one.
Those are awesome.
We just had a new one up today. So, for us, I don't want to say that this, it's not scarier. The stakes aren't higher. They've always been high. But when you know what you're navigating, you're not as freaked out about it. So in our office, we're not freaked out about it because we're used to doing these things correctly. Odette worked with our office for many years, just approving our cases, reviewing our cases, meeting our attorneys. And she knows that we do quality work and we don't make those kind of little mistakes. So that's my pitch for us, or at least some other immigration lawyer.
Yeah.
Who you want to work with. All right.
Absolutely. And you were talking about the green card cases and the green card photos that we take at our office. You guys can also take a look at our Google reviews. We've got hundreds of them. And I'm going to go ahead and put this comment on. It's very long. It's going to cover us, but it's okay. It's great. It's from Manuel. Manuel, thank you so much for, I mean, look at his photo, right? Manuel is holding a baby, a newborn baby. This touches my heart. And, it's probably his own child, the way that he's looking at the baby. It could be a niece, but he says, "Good evening. Years ago, you guys helped me to get my legal status. There was no records of me coming legally to the country at the border and in the airport. The only thing that saved me besides you guys was a small piece of paper with a barcode to retake my flight after an emergency landing. Moral of the story, you guys are amazing. And every time someone asks me, I mention you guys. Thank you so much." Manuel.
Yeah, thank you, Manuel.
That's awesome. Thank you too. And if that's your newborn baby or niece, congratulations. That's why we're here. That is why we do what we do. So thanks for that comment and coming on here
that's cool.
And sharing that.
Okay.
All right. What other questions do we have? We would love some questions about this and your filings and what's going on with your immigration cases. And I do also want to make an announcement that for those of you who are wanting to apply for U.S. citizenship, who you are eligible for citizenship, there is Citizenship Day is coming up. And it is going to be, I believe, at the end of September in many, many areas, right, across the United States. So if you need help with your citizenship application and you want a professional to even complete that application for you, please Google Citizenship Day, AILA, American Immigration Lawyers Association Citizenship Day. It will be held across the United States in many, many areas and many clinics. Locally here, we're going to have ours in October. More to come on that. And that's where immigration attorneys like us, Odette has come to several citizenship days, and we help you complete your N-400 application for free. So please, 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 if you are eligible for citizenship and you've been procrastinating and you say, hey, I want an attorney to help me, but I don't have the money to do it, this is a perfect opportunity for everyone to go and file their citizenship application. But do not file your citizenship application if you have some lawful permanent resident skeletons in the closet, guys. Do not file. So it is extremely important to have an attorney help you with your N-400 case. I've seen some pretty devastating decisions. So how it works is when people have an issue, they call us, right? They have a problem. They went to their interview, they filed their case, and then we ask them for the documentation, the denial, the request for evidence, the notice of intent to deny, and they send it to us. So we see a lot, right? We see a lot of what's going on there for people who have filed their applications on their own. And some of these things we've been seeing, I'll tell you, they're digging into your past. They are going all the way back to that interview that you had at the U.S. Embassy abroad. And they are wanting to see what you said on your application, what you said to the consular officer when you came here. And this is not just on permanent resident applications, this is also on your N-400. So we've seen this. It's really scary because sometimes there's not a way for a person to readjust their status if a mistake, a lie was told or a misrepresentation was told. So be really careful with that. I know it's just like I'm just like living in a horror film right now when we get these decisions out of the immigration office, and we represent people from all over the United States, and just like boom, 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 all these decisions. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is no bueno. Okay, next question.
No, I was checking. You said you changed lie to misrepresentation. It just reminded me of a trial years ago when the U.S. attorney was calling it a misrepresentation.
Yes. Well, they call it fraud and misrepresentation. We don't need to get into that.
Okay, let's jump over here to Just Me. Just Me was up here early and says, my daughter turned 21 last July. Can she sponsor me and my wife? We came legally.
Most likely.
All right.
We've done, well, Odette, you've seen 21-year-olds petition for their parents, right? They've been out of status for a long period of time. What do you think here?
She can definitely petition the I-130. She could definitely file that. And I would suggest they file right away.
Yeah. So
that's not legal advice.
That's not legal advice. So was this just me? Okay. So Just Me, my recommendation to you right now, you have a great opportunity here. Give our office a call. So our phone number at our office is 757-464-9224. You can also send us a message through TikTok, but give us a call. You will speak with probably Wendy or Rhea or Nori, and they're trained to do a free evaluation. So you can talk to them for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and we'll get all of your information down. And if it is a case that we can do and we can help you with, they're then going to schedule an appointment with an immigration attorney. Now, a consultation. So we charge $295 for an initial consultation. All of our consultations are virtual, whether you're here in Virginia Beach in our backyard or wherever you are. It's a Zoom consultation. It's a 45-minute consultation. And we will, if you're meeting with the attorney, then there's a high probability that we're going to be able to help. things come up.
Right. That first call, there's no charge for that. That is a screening. And if it looks likely that we'll be able to help you, then you are going to move on to the consultation, as Radlyn said.
Right. So give us a call, and there's zero risk in giving us a call.
Yeah, Just Me. I'm glad you found us on TikTok tonight. You asked your question. Odette, retired USCIS immigration officer, says yes. Attorney Mendoza says yes. Call us for a consultation. So 2 yeses equals we will talk to you tomorrow. All right. All right. Next question we have here. Crean wanted to know, can someone apply for an N-400 with a misdemeanor battery conviction 5 years and no recidivism? 5 years ago, I'm assuming that is.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to have to look at everything, right? there was a change. Was it a policy change? I don't remember, but the N-400, the officers are supposed to be looking at the totality of the circumstances. So Odette, we have a assault and battery, a misdemeanor assault and battery conviction. It's outside of the 5-year good moral character period. Let's just say that this person, that's all they have.
No new charges. They said that in the last 5 years. So
no new charges, pays taxes, supports dependents. All of the other no boxes are checked on the N-400. What are we thinking here with this kind of case? And again, guys, this is not legal advice. We're asking Odette, who has adjudicated, tens of thousands of N-400s.
This would have come right across her desk.
Right.
Yeah. They can file. Of course, we're going to look at everything, make sure there's nothing else, court dispositions and everything, but they can file. I'm not going to say no, but there would be more questions asked involving it.
Yeah.
This sounds like a broken record for me. I apologize. But again, I'm going to say this, that, any immigration process where, I think you should have an attorney always. But I think that need and to have an attorney goes up anytime there's any kind of criminal conduct in your past. I think it's a danger zone. It becomes a red flag for immigration. And I really think that you would be wise. It's worth the investment to speak with an immigration lawyer before you file things, if you have a criminal record. Even though you're hearing from us right now that, you probably be okay. Odette's saying, you can file, but obviously we're going to look at everything. Just the fact that you have that conviction, I think it's worth your time and money to speak with a professional, just to make sure you're not inadvertently stepping into a problem. Because right now, life is good. You think you're eligible to become a citizen.
Yeah.
You have a green card. You think everything is fine. One thing you don't want to do is inadvertently stir up a hornet's nest of trouble that you don't need. So.
Yeah. And guys, we're not trying to scare you into, thinking that the sky is falling, right? We just want you to be prepared for the new normal. Okay. So from just taking it back to what we were talking about with the immediate denials, say you file your case, you check, yes, you have an assault and battery conviction. Great. But you forget to submit the certified disposition. Odette, this can be denied on that basis, correct?
With the new policy, yes.
With the new policy, there's a possibility that your N-400 could get denied just because you didn't send in your certified disposition. So you read the instructions, as Odette said, this is such a great recommendation. Everything in the instructions is what is required, and you got to put it in there. So again, something that is as simple as an N-400 filing, where you're leaving out the certified disposition of something that's not even most likely not going to be an issue for your N-400, and you would be going on your merry way and swearing in 10 months later. Now it's a denial, and you're out $710, and your head is hanging low, right? So you got to be careful. And
we don't know a lot about the criminal conviction. It's a misdemeanor conviction for battery. What was it? Did you hit somebody over the head with bolt cutters and it was charged as a felony and was reduced to misdemeanor assault and battery, and you had a 12-month suspended sentence, and now you're in trouble zone and you don't even know it? You're such a good point. Some of the facts in the case may be important as well, and that's something that a good attorney would be able to look into and analyze and make sure you're clear. And also, just other pitfalls is traveling outside of the United States, right? Are we wanting to travel outside of the States with assault and battery conviction? Are you traveling with your certified disposition and showing that you paid all of your fines and costs and everything else, and it's all on the computer settled out? And do you have that? So
I would want to apply for citizenship, right? So I wouldn't have to worry about this. But these are all things that we think about when we're doing your case, and things come up too, right? Like
Part of our job as attorneys is to try to figure out every possible thing that can go wrong with your
Right.
case and make sure that we're prepared for it.
Yeah, and I don't know. Sometimes I see things and I know that people think that the government can't see the things that they've done, right? I just know they think, well, I mean, that happened 20 years ago. So obviously I'm not putting that down because it was so long ago. And Odette,
Yeah,
you
can you address that, Odette, real quick? I know we've asked you to talk about this.
No, well, have you ever been in a situation where you're you're adjudicating officer and somebody has forgotten about something or didn't think it was relevant to put down on their application?
All the time.
All the
Things
time.
that probably happened 20 years ago, things that happened in another country. They all come to light at the time of your application. People don't think so, but it does. And then when we bring it up, if you mark no, I didn't do this, X, Y, Z, nothing, everything is no, and we bring it up and you still saying no, and then finally admit, hey, oh, that was so long ago, I forgot. It's a little late.
Mhm.
It's a little late in the game.
It's a little late.
It's a little.
Should we talk about Italy 2013? I've never been to Italy. Are you sure?
I have had that too. Never been to that country. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
so I guess someone else has your exact fingerprints.
Right.
Yeah, so folks, you don't want to forget.
Yeah.
You may have, you may have forgotten or think no one knows about it, but they do. And in the real trap here, just to give a little bit of advice that's not legal advice, but advice generally, is that a lot of times the thing that you've omitted or is not even going to be a problem. But if you start denying it and they know that it happened, then you start to dig a hole for yourself and it becomes a problem. And
Right.
so you want to be very careful with that. Okay, let's get to some questions here again. DP wants to know, I filed an I-130 for alien relative since December 2024, and I haven't received anything since. Is that bad?
Since 2024?
December of 2024, so very end of 2024.
I mean, if you never received a receipt notice, yes, that's bad.
That's bad.
That's bad. If you received a receipt notice and you're still waiting, that's not necessarily bad because who did you file for?
Right.
I mean, some of these, if you're a permanent well, we didn't say. So if they're a permanent resident and you're filing for your spouse, that I-130 petition is taking years and years. So not necessarily. We're happy to look into it for you. If you give us a call, someone's asking for a number. It's 757-464-9224. Again, that is 757-464-9224. And I mean, go ahead and reintroduce ourselves. Our law firm is Gardner and Mendoza. My name is Radlyn Mendoza, and this is my law partner and husband, John Gardner. We started our firm 26 years ago, and joining us almost every Wednesday. Odette's here more than we are, right? Is Odette Batchelor, and she is a retired USCIS senior immigration officer who we have worked with personally when she was with USCIS, and we've known each other for 25 years. We're so happy that she is part of our team and helping us. I'm sure that you guys find great value in being able to ask Odette questions. And so here we are. We're here almost every Wednesday. I don't think anyone else on TikTok or Facebook Live has the experience that we have with Odette sitting here. So
that's right.
I don't even know what the original question was, but I think that we answered it.
Yeah, and just a reminder for those on TikTok and on Facebook, most of these questions deal with some technical things and some family things. But if you're joining us and you are involved in any sort of business immigration channels that you want to look into, we do business immigration as well. We tend to not get as many of those questions here. But if you want to call us, if you have questions that involve a business, we absolutely can help with that as well. I think sometimes that gets, in this particular forum, gets forgotten.
Yes, I will be
but
talking about business immigration during a presentation
we
next
do a lot
month.
of that as
So
well.
we do.
Okay, we have a question here. I'm not sure. When do you go out of status before you file asylum? I'm not sure.
So
I know how to answer that
you
one.
generally have to file within the year. When you enter the United States, you have to generally file within 1 year. We don't do asylum cases. So if you want to give us a call, we can refer you over to some of our colleagues who do asylum, but hopefully that helps.
Crean said, "Thank you. Great points. This is a relative. I can't tell you more, but we'll let them call your firm." All right. Thank you, Crean. That's a good choice. All right. Okay. Question here is it true that one petty offense sentenced less than 6 months does not account for good moral character?
One. the key is one. Odette, you want to speak a little bit about the petty offense exception? And we're talking about this in context of an N400, right? Because that's where we need that good character. So we have one petty offense where typically it's going to be a misdemeanor, right? Where the max sentence is 12 months or less, and the given sentence is less than 180 days,
including suspended time.
So
6 months suspended would still be a 6-month sentence, right?
Yep.
Odette, what do you think about this?
One petty offense. So let's just say it's a petty theft. Okay.
That's
one thing outside of it, within the 5-year good moral character period, pays taxes, supports dependents, otherwise checks no to all the boxes on the N400. What are our thoughts here in August of 2026?
Oh.
The year of our
otherwise would probably be okay, but possibly on a suspended sentence, you will not be eligible at the time that they adjudicate that case. And now if they're not on a suspended sentence, they're probably going to be okay.
Yeah. Okay. So great distinction.
Thank you for mentioning that. The person who had that question, that's right. They're not going to adjudicate it if you are on the suspended sentence, which typically happens, as those of you who have been in the criminal world know. When time is suspended, it's suspended usually for a period of good behavior, typically 1 or 2 years. So if you have a 6-month sentence and it's suspended for 2 years of good behavior, then during those 2 years of good behavior, Odette is absolutely right. They're not going to be able to do your case. So thank you for reminding us of that, Odette. That's a great point.
Right. But assuming that there is no good behavior, good behavior period. And we have to really evaluate the case. I mean, we have to look at the totality of the circumstances. And, if you're not, basically, if that's the only thing you have, we have to arm you with positive, good moral character things, right? A letter or two to supplement the file to make everybody happy. But I'm going to say that this person will probably be able to swear in to become a citizen if that's all we have. But again, this is not legal advice.
No,
because we have no idea what that offense is, right? Going back to your point.
This goes back to my sort of rule of thumb that especially if you have any criminal record, I think part of your penalty for having that criminal record is that you're going to have to cough up some money to talk to an immigration lawyer before you take any steps, because there's all kinds of potential pitfalls that you could fall into that you don't know about.
Yeah. And And we're talking about N400s. We've talked about that a couple of times. Again, I do want to mention, and this is also for permanent residents, if you made a misrepresentation on your visa application and during your consular interview, where the misrepresentation, had it been revealed to the consular officer, you would not have been granted that B1, B2 visa or F1. That's a real problem right now that we're seeing. And we typically can address that by filing a waiver, right? Being able to file a waiver. But going back to this new policy, we're seeing noise being given or requests for evidence being given at the time of the interview. So you go in with your spouse and it's a marriage-based case, and you're just like, you're there with your photo album, you're all dressed up, you're ready to go, you're super excited, and you're going to get your case approved. But then they go into the deep archives of why you entered the United States in the first place and what reason you gave. And then you're getting slapped with a notice of intent to deny or a request for evidence for a waiver, and it's due in 30 days. And sadly, we don't have that's just it is not enough time. But if you put that down, and we know that, look, you made a misrepresentation, we know that. If we know that because you told us, they're going to know that, right? We can file the waiver and have the time to prepare the case properly. So just really be careful with that. And in the N400 context, we've also seen it going into the DS-160 application, going way back. So I think that's $1 million tip for today, guys.
Yeah, $1 million.
$1 million tip for today, for sure.
Okay, we are running short on time here, so
I feel like we have time for like 6 more questions.
We have time for.
I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, maybe we have time for 2 or 3 at the most. One of the question here is, hi, I'm on a B1 entry. Is it possible to adjust status after marriage if sponsor citizen has medical issues?
Yeah, that's are medical issues relevant to a person's ability to be a petitioning spouse? No, they're not relevant unless it impacts negatively the ability for them to show that they can sign an affidavit of support with the supporting documents, and that you're not going to be a public charge because of this medical condition. But I mean, Odette, have you ever seen a case where, let's just say the affidavit of support looks good and the petitioner has a medical condition? Have you ever seen a case where that's an issue?
Not that that's an issue. It's normally the marriage is the issue. Like,
what do you mean by that? I want to know what you mean.
I've had several cases where we have someone 23 years old marrying someone 75 years old, and they have all these medical issues, and they want me to be there and take care of them.
I see.
And met online, first time seeing each, it's a lot of long things that didn't really add up to being an actual marriage.
Right. Some red flags.
A lot of red flags.
So that's a really good point. That's a good point. So sometimes there are really large age differences in couples. We've represented people. There's also, if and this is not really your question, but now that we're on this, if there's a mismatch, right? If there's a mismatch in the couple, in the sense, and look, Odette, when you're looking at couples and you're looking at what are red flags, mismatch, what are you looking for? I mean, what just in your experience, is it something that you guys are trained on, or is it something that you just innately know? You know it when you see it. I
mean, they're trained on certain things, but after doing it for so many years, you just kind of know. not so much looking at the age as much as you're looking at the relationship. Is
Right.
this really a relationship?
Mm.
Showing a bunch of paperwork that we got XYZ is, to me, is not the only thing for a relationship. You know, paint me that picture of your marriage, your relationship before the marriage, and I need to see it like I'm watching a TV show or a, a movie. I need to know.
Okay. Okay. And other than again, I know that it's age is not the only thing, but is there anything else that might stick out to you as, you're wanting more, like, say, vastly different religions, for example,
Different
or
religions,
vastly
yes.
different cultures?
Yes. Those are big ones. I mean, to be in one religion and you practice something differently and you're both strong in that, that's a
Mhm.
thing. Um, when you say cultures, there's people who speak different languages.
Yeah.
Can you speak the same? How do you communicate? And when you say they just point at something, that's not communication.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's a child pointing, I want food, I want something to drink. But like, I've had this so many times. How do they tell you you're hungry? Oh my, they rub my tummy. Okay.
Okay. We need a podcast called the Immigration Chronicles. Now, wouldn't
Mhm.
this be like so interesting?
That'd be fun.
All the different couples, right? That you,
Different scenarios
right.
that I've seen.
Hmm.
Hmm.
If he's hungry, he rubs his tummy, and I go to the refrigerator and get him some food.
Yes. Yes.
Uh,
And that's cute and all, but you have to say more you can't just not talk to each other.
okay, so that's a good point, Odette, because there are language barriers. And what are your thoughts on? And again, I just want to kind of go into this, and John's looking at me like, okay, but we've had consultations where there's a translator, right? They have the little computer, and it interprets for them.
And is that translator going to be doing it for the rest of their life?
Well, it's like the little computer. So
Yeah.
it is really
It's just a red flag we look at.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just
Yeah.
one of the red flags that
It's not a deal breaker. It's not a deal breaker.
Yeah, folks, it's a red flag, not a deal breaker.
It's
but
part of the picture.
yeah, it is definitely part of
Yeah.
the picture.
Yeah.
That's good to know. And these are the kinds of things that we're, going to be looking at because we know they're going to be looking at. Okay, we are sort of running long here. We did have another question here that I'll go ahead and answer. The question is, attorney, are you from Naga City, Philippines? No, I am not from Naga City, Philippines. I am from Akron, Ohio, which is in the Midwest, northeastern Ohio.
I am also not from Naga City.
Oh, you think it was for you?
I am also not from Naga City, Philippines. My parents are my dad grew up in Quezon City, but he's from San Mateo, Rizal, and my mom is from Lawag. Sorry, I just had a brain.
Yeah.
My mom is from
Lawag.
Ilocos. So
okay, we're going to do last question. A real quick comment here. Hi, all. Just want to say thank you for always providing us education regarding immigration issues, concerns. God bless you always.
thank you.
Rosalie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Coming on to tell us that. And then we'll go out with here. Last question. I-751 immigration asked for interviews. What do I prepare?
Oh, Odette, we'll let you take that. We'll let you take that question. Good one.
So they filed the application and they're coming in for their interview. Is that
I-751?
the question?
Yep. And they want to know what do they do to prepare? What do they prepare? How do they prepare?
Well, you may want to inquire to get an attorney, but some of the things you want to look at is bring all the documentations with you. Regardless that you filed it with your application, be surprised how many things get lost.
Mhm.
Great tip.
Bring all documentations, and don't bring just the ones you filed with your I-130/45. We're not looking for that. We're looking for anything from that interview up to the day of your interview.
Right. That's
Any supporting documents.
right. And also, if you've been watching, Odette is talking about painting the picture. And one of the things that they can ask you is, the whole history of your marriage, right? And relationship. How did you meet? Where did you meet? That and telling that story again. And 751s, when you file it, 3 years may have passed, right? 3 years may have passed before you're sitting in front of an immigration officer going for an interview. So you better have all the documentation also for those 3 years where you did not submit anything, because you submitted 3 years prior. And now when you're going to this interview, you need to have all that new documentation. It's from the time you were married until the time of your interview. So basically get a lot of your documentation together and have it over the period of time, and have a variety of the documents to show the immigration officer, and make sure that it is organized. Do not bring the papers in a plastic grocery bag. Make sure everything is organized. So hopefully that helps. You'll be totally fine. And just make sure you're prepared with documents, all of them.
All right. Hope that helps. Only professional. And
we jumped over one question.
Let's see. Zeke wanted to know what we were coming the other way now.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
My marriage. See, now we're
now, good. We're done. This is the last question.
We're
this is the last question.
Saying 8:45 because we always.
This is the last question. Last question.
Last question. Zeke wants to know, my marriage green card has been pending for over a year. When can I file for a writ of mandamus?
For over a year. So you got to look at the processing times, right? Current processing times for an I-45 here in Norfolk and many other jurisdictions, like 22 months. So writ of mandamus, you're nowhere close to doing that if you are still within USCIS processing times for that I-45. And I'm going to say 1 year in, you're not even probably close, unless you're in some field office where it's freakishly fast. Odette, you have any insights on that? I know you love mandamus cases.
Got them all the time. But again, you're right. It has to be within the processing time. And right now, everything is over 20 months.
Yeah. Okay. 20 months.
All right. So Zeke, you are not there yet. And when you feel like you are, you know who to call.
All right.
We have...
I answered that in the comment. Oh, wait.
Oh, okay. Did we want to?
That's weird.
Yeah, we'd had a question here about when you retain us as your attorneys. Are we present during the testing and the interview for the citizenship? Yes, absolutely.
If it's in Norfolk, yeah.
If it's in Norfolk, we will help you get ready for it. You may even be lucky enough to have Odette helping you prepare for it. And yes, we will be there. So.
All right. Fantastic.
Yes, across the board. Okay.
All right. Yes, we have gone over by a few minutes.
It's no problem.
8 minutes.
We are going to just change the format. Next Wednesday, we're going to come from 8 to 9.
No. It's 8 to 8
away anyway.
We've been live for 53 minutes.
Yeah, it's going to be 8:57.
All right, we shall probably end before we get into a married couple squabble here.
See, law partners wouldn't talk like this, but a husband and wife, absolutely. Yeah. See, this, Odette, absolutely, this is a bona fide marriage.
Absolutely.
We're matching. See, we come to the interview matching.
100%. Right. Okay, folks. All joking aside, it's been great being here. Odette, thank you again so much for joining us. Always
thank you.
And great information that you provide for everyone. And folks, we will see you next Wednesday, and we will be here from 8 o'clock
to 8:50
till 9 o'clock. Let's
8:50.
Go. 2 thumbs up. 8:50. That's a compliment. All right.
Take care.
Who am I kidding? She's my wife. Whatever. She's 8:50.
Okay.
See you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.